Good morning, welcome back to the channel. Recently I've been contacted by quite a lot of people, whether it's via email or messages, asking about the Bang Tao entertainment area, I'm going to call it. It's the area where there is a lot of bars, beach clubs, businesses, all in one area. Recently I did a video just over 2 months ago of the area being closed down by the local government, and people were asking whether it had reopened up yet. And the last few days I've received a comment on the original video saying that some of the businesses here have now reopened up. Well, I haven't seen anything on the local media, so I wanted to come down and take a look myself to see what the position is. And honestly, I can still see the government signs that they put up initially when they closed the businesses down. Now, the businesses along the edge of the beach line, some of them I can see are actually open. That one is a restaurant stroke club, or at least that's what it says on the sign. We've got massage there, but the main area is this area here in front. I can see work going on in there. I don't know whether they're open, but there is work going on. A lot of people have been asking me what they should do about their position being booked in the Bang Tao area, and obviously with the closure of this they're not sure whether to move their accommodation. And this is something that I really can't advise people on, because obviously it depends on your personal situation. This area, whilst it is very useful and very handy because it has a lot of businesses all in a small area, so of course you can easily access the bars and the clubs, the restaurants, etc., without having to drive here, there and everywhere or catch taxis. There are other areas in Bang Tao that you can access, but the thing with Bang Tao is it's a little spread out, I guess. So of course, if this area isn't open, that means that you would maybe have to travel a little bit further. Now, if you've got your own transport or you intend to hire a bike or a car, then really this isn't a great problem for you. It just means a little bit longer traveling, but it's no major issue. But of course, if you haven't got your own transport, then that puts a slightly different light on this area, because you may have to travel a little bit further, and that may involve the use of taxis. And of course, if you're using taxis regular, the cost is going to mount up. This in front here was the Maya Beach Club, and that definitely does not look like it's open. In fact, it looks like they're taking it apart. I can see scaffolding there. I've not seen anything at all in the local media. Nothing's been mentioned about this for quite some time, actually. Now, of course, I don't spend all day looking at the media, so maybe I've missed something. I don't see anything open, I'll be honest with you, at this side. Big massage place there, that's not open. But we're going to walk a little bit further down to what was called, I believe it's the Beach Pig. I always get the name of this place wrong, but looking from here now, it looks like they're removing it. That is definitely not how it used to be. It looks like they've moved the beach line back. You can see here where the beach line is. Maybe that's the issue with some of these businesses, that they're actually on to the beach, because contrary to common beliefs, a lot of people think there are private beaches in Thailand, and this is not true. All beaches in Thailand are publicly owned, which means you don't have the right to build on them. You can't buy the land to build on the beach. You just can't. It's not available. But of course, people do it anyway. And this is where the problem becomes. Well, you can see this has been removed. If you go back and have a look at my last few videos, you will see this is completely changed. So this has been removed off the beach. So all this is what was left of it. So I believe it was called the Beach Pig. That has gone because that restaurant is no longer there, or bar. It was a bar stroke restaurant. That has gone. And I think that's the issue that we've got. I'm not an expert on this land area here. My personal opinion, I think the problem is they've built onto the beach, and that isn't allowed. We've seen that in various places across the island of Phuket over the years. Surin Beach is a prime example of that, where several times the beach area has been cleared because people have still carried on building structures. Some of them have been temporary, some of them not so temporary, like these were. I'm going to speculate, possibly we could see some of these businesses reopening at some point. When, I can't say. I don't know whether it's going to be before high season, or maybe next year, or maybe never. I don't know. I'm only speculating because, again, I haven't seen anything on the local media to say what is actually going on down here. All I know is it's a dispute regarding land, and I'm guessing that it's to do with the beach, because I've recently covered Nui Beach, which again is a public beach, but the thing that you have here is the land adjacent to the beach can sometimes be privately owned, and that's perfectly legal. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem becomes is when the owners decide to build outside of their boundaries, i.e. onto the actual beach itself, then they're breaking the law, and that becomes illegal. And I think, looking at this, that's exactly what's happened, because you can see yourself the line. They've removed everything, and it's, I'm not going to say a straight line, but you can see yourselves what we've got here. There's a line running along all the way down, and this, where I'm standing now, is on the beach. And I think that's the issue. They've built onto the beach. I don't think it's to do with the land behind, because I haven't seen any of the buildings at the back here being removed. Unless they're just, this is the first stage. Again, I don't know. It could be the first stage of removal. I don't know who's removing this, whether it's the businesses themselves or something to do with the government officials, because I know when I went down to Nui Beach there was a lot of government officials down there removing structures that weren't allowed to be there, and there was some dispute as regards to who actually owned the land behind the beach line as well, because this is something else that's a problem over here in Thailand and indeed Phuket, is actual title deeds. If you own land, you've got to be able to prove it, and they will check those documents to see whether they're legitimate, because we have seen where documents have been forged, even by officials. So even though they look official, they're not official. There are still a few people in the area. So going back to what I mentioned about advising people what to do as regards this area, if you've got to have something like what we had before here as the entertainment complex and restaurants, then what I would say is don't bank on this being back by the end of the year, because honestly it's difficult to say at the moment. All I can say is some of it's been removed, as you can clearly see yourselves. Some of it may be open by the end of the year, some is already open. There's one or two places that are open, but not everything. So if you've got to have this area, then maybe you need to reconsider where you're going to stay. There are other areas in Bang Tao, of course, that you can go and for a drink and eat. There's plenty of places. Bang Tao is a very big area. It's not just this area here. It looks like they're taking it down, not building it back. They're dismantling it, I would say, but maybe they're just making it smaller. Again, I don't know. But again, you see this one here is not quite so far out, and if you notice on those ones that are actually open, they are further back. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's update, and if you have, then please do give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, you are welcome to just subscribe to the channel, and it won't cost you a penny. And of course, I will keep my eye open in this area and keep my ear to the ground. If I hear any more, I will come down and let you know what's going on, because I know a lot of people are booked around this area and of course are concerned about what's going on. But I wouldn't over worry about it. It's not going to be the end of your holiday, even if this area isn't fully open, because there are plenty of facilities in Bang Tao. And I guess that's it. I'll see you soon. A little bit windy today.